There once was a man named Gold Roger who was king of the pirates. He had fame, power, and wealth beyond your wildest dreams. Before they hung him from the gallows, these were the final words he said.
Our perspective is yours for the taking, but you'll have to join us first. We left everything we debated at the Yonko table.
Ever since, pirates from all over the world set sail for the Grand Line, searching for the Yonko table, the table that will make their dreams come true. Yo, everyone. That is the voice of your Yonko host, DrJaceAttorney, and we are taking a deep dive into the wizarding world of Hogwarts Legacy. It's been well over a month since the game's release, and I feel like most people that have any interest in playing the game have already played it and have likely beaten the game or at least beaten the story. And if you have, now's a good time to tune into this podcast episode for Hogwarts Legacy, because we're going to be deep diving everything about Hogwarts Legacy, the quests, the story, the gameplay, the mythos. Was this a good game? And the most important question, the most important one of all, do all roads really lead to Hogsmeade? Is Hogsmeade as cozy as one may seem? We're going to answer these questions, but with me, as always, is fellow Yonko Grandmaster Hoob. Grandmaster, do all roads lead to Hogsmeade? Do all of them? Is there nothing quite as cozy as Hogsmeade?
Traveling was not easy back in my day before I invented flu powder.
Ignatia?
What are you up to now?
Oh my God. Oh, go. You know what? I'll save it. What are you up to now?
What was the question? I don't know. Yes, Hogsmeade. All roads lead to Hogsmeade and Hogwarts and this giant map of places you didn't even know were relevant. And how could they let these kids roam these places and parts with no supervision? All roads lead to this everywhere. Hogwarts Legacy. Yay.
Okay.
Yes.
That's good enough. But we are not alone in this endeavor. We have Supernovas here to deep dive Hogwarts Legacy as well. And all right, let's get into it. Hogwarts Legacy. I guess the bigger question before we jump into Hogwarts proper is where are we as Harry Potter fans? Were we like book readers? Were we fans of the movies? Do you keep up with the mythos? Do you watch Fantastic Beasts? Does anyone here watch Fantastic Beasts?
Yeah,
was that a yes?
Yeah.
Oh no!
Well, you watched all of them? You seen them all?
Yeah, I seen them all.
Oh,
all three.
All three. Yeah.
That's commitment. Wow.
Yeah, I'm a pretty. It's kind of funny that I don't realize how much I'm a Harry Potter fan until it comes around, like until the holidays come around. But I started reading them when I was like probably third grade, and then I think around there, the movie had just came out or like it was about to come out. But I got like really big into reading, and then the movies came out, and then I got up to like the Phoenix in the books, and then I was like, you're in like fourth, fifth grade, and I'm like, okay, this one's a little too thick, put it away. But I'm not finishing 800 pages. There's no way. But yeah, and then I started getting into the movies, but. Yeah, I've seen all Fantastic Beasts, the whole actor change and everying for Dumbledore.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
The whole Grindelwald fiasco.
Yep. All that drama. So.
Wow. Yeah, no, I can only say I've only seen the first Fantastic Beasts. And it wasn't even in theaters either. It was like oh my God, it's probably like maybe 2 or 3 years ago. I saw it for the first time. And I was like, this is just not for me. I couldn't even tell you what it was about. I remember there was the knapsack that sucks in animals and things.
Yeah.
That's it. I couldn't mention anything. I don't even know who the villain was. I don't know who they were fighting.
I forgot. I think it's been the same one.
Maybe it has.
Yeah.
Maybe it has. But at the very least, I've seen the movies. I would read the books. Yeah, kind of around the same time you mentioned, like it was like third or second grade. I think from the books, or at least from the movies, when I started, the only movies that were out were the first two, Sorcerer's Stone and Chamber of Secrets. Prisoner of Azkaban wasn't out yet, because by the time it did come out in theaters, I did go and watch it. And I definitely read the books by then. But yeah, no, major Harry Potter fan since then. I feel like most people into like fantasy in general back then were Harry Potter stans to a degree. I know Grandmaster is sick with Harry Potter.
I am not.
You got
no.
Harry Potter fever.
I do not know. I enjoy the movies. I enjoyed the books, and that's about it. Other than saying some lines and dialogue, Fantastic Beasts, I definitely fell asleep through the first one, and I don't think I've ever touched the other two. Harry Potter video games, I think I've played Chamber of Secrets, that game, and maybe we played Quidditch World Cup. I can't honestly
That was a
recall.
good one.
Those were good ones. Those were good ones. But other than that, I'm able to hold my own in a Harry Potter conversation from what I can remember, but I can't be doing like these deep dives they do on TikTok, being like, this is what they got wrong in this movie regarding this character. I'm like, I think you're right.
I'll believe
they
you.
could be right.
Right. I
I
can't
won't
confirm.
question it.
And look at me. This is the first time I've ever had any Harry Potter clothing ever. I bought this a couple of months ago.
Oh
So,
God, is that a Hufflepuff hat?
It's a Hufflepuff hat. And
Oh,
a Hufflepuff
no.
I
shirt.
get that Hufflepuff hat immediately.
Oh no,
Hufflepuff.
damn Badgers. But okay. So everyone's here read the books, seen the movies. Where did you first hear about Hogwarts Legacy even being a thing, before the game came out? Because I know back in like I think it was 2018, there was like so you had the Harry Potter games back then, right? That were based off the movies, and some were, okay, they were pretty good, but majority of them were complete ass. They were terrible. They were either just buggy as hell or just terrible mechanics. And the big question people always wanted back then was, can they just make an open world Harry Potter game not tied to the movies? Because back then, movie license games were a dime a dozen. If you're Iron Man, you were getting a video game. If you got a Stuart Little, you're getting a video game.
Oh, he did have a video game.
He did. It was a different time back then. So you bet your ass Harry Potter, a multi-billion-dollar franchise, was getting video games for every single movie. But of course, that means dev time gets shortened and it gets strained. So you're not going to get a quality product at the end of it. So people have been always asking for just a Harry Potter game not tied to the movies. And then in 2018, there was a leak from Warner Brothers that showed an image of a wizard, like in, I think, like a cave or something. I think maybe they were battling a troll. But it was rumored to be an open world Harry Potter game. And people lost their minds. They're like, whoa, a Harry Potter game? It being developed? Since when? Is it based off a movie? When does it take place? Big question. So when did you guys hear about a game in development? Is it kind of just when the first trailer dropped?
I don't remember 2018. They first leaked this back in 2018.
Yeah, that's quite some time.
It was an image leak.
Yeah.
I remember. The reason why I remember it is because it was just one image. It was just like kind of like how your background is, Grandmaster, with like the wizard, and he wasn't looking at Hogwarts, but he was like in a cave. And it was just something where it was a leak and people said, oh, this is a Harry Potter game and it's being developed, but Warner Brothers never like confirmed like, hey, when does it come out? Is it what? There was a question of, was that even a Harry Potter game? Because there was no confirmation. But I think the 2018, that was the first image leak.
I can't say I was aware of this back in 2018. I think it was that announcement. I think it was one of those PlayStation things And because I thought this game was always going to be a PlayStation exclusive, so I feel I saw this on a
really?
PlayStation. I that's what I remember, and I was like, "Ooh, cool, a Hogwarts game, cool." But also, I was like, this is probably going to be bad." So,
Oh, you thought it was gonna be bad?
Oh,
Why? 'Cause the
yeah.
other ones were bad.
yeah. Well, I remember seeing this. I was like, okay. Also, I think my Harry Potter fandom had since died out at that time, so I was like, whatever. Uh,
Oh,
I don't think I
wow.
cared as much whenever I first saw it, I was like, okay, cool, a game. I'm sure it's not going to be that great.
I mean, there was a natural fear because it's like you're so used to mediocrity when it comes to like these Harry Potter games. At least back then, I wasn't expecting much out of this game. I was thinking like, okay, I mean, my Harry Potter fandom has died down. It's waned. I don't keep up with the Fantastic Beasts movie. Am I gonna care about this game when it comes out? Because most of the Harry Potter games back then, even though they were tied to movies, they were not that good. So it's like, why should I even bother with this one? But I still kept my eye on it. As you know, they released more and more content about the game. And then eventually, of course, you know, we're here. The game comes out 2023. Everyone here has played it. We finished the story. We've gotten majority of the spells. Some have gotten all of them. And we've done some of the side quests. We've explored the game enough to have a podcast episode on it. So let me ask you all this. What are your overall thoughts on the game? You know, just all encompassing. Are you here for Hogwarts Legacy? Was it worth the endeavor? Was it worth the $70 drop day one for the experience? Go on. Let me hear it.
Overall, it was a great game. I mean, I would say like anticipation. I really didn't know it was coming out until I probably like saw a trailer, and I was like, oh, this looks super promising. And it ended up being pretty promising, like way better than what I thought it was going to be. So my expectations were like pretty to the floor, like pretty low. Like I was like, okay, I don't think this is going to be better than any other Harry Potter game we've probably gotten. And
Very low.
yeah.
Mine were low too.
I mean, like if you've ever played any of the old ones, even the good one, even Sorcerer's Stone, like even the first computer one that they had released from way back when,
That's on
that
the
was
PS1.
fun. Like,
Jesus.
yeah, I mean, it was okay, but I didn't have much expectations. So playing it was, it was pretty. I mean, it was pretty fun. There's a lot of specifics that like I would tweak or whatnot, but I definitely don't think it's kind of funny because that question is all around is it worth the price for it? Like I see a lot of people were complaining about the deluxe being so much, but if you have a PC, you can get a streaming key for way cheaper. Just saying, I definitely
PC.
had but no, it definitely would. I'd say it's worth the price. If you are a Harry Potter fan, it is definitely worth it. If you're not a fan and you just kind of want to play a game, I wouldn't recommend it. Like I'd say go play something else like Elden Ring or something.
Right. I definitely see this as a game that's made for Harry Potter fans. This was the game, for the most part, we were always asking for as kids. Like, can you guys make a competent game, please? Like, you had one above average game, which was Chamber of Secrets, and it's one version of Chamber of Secrets because there was a Game Boy Advance version, there was a PS1 version, all ass, but the good one was like on PS2 and GameCube or something like that. Most of the other ones were terrible. So that's what we were asking for. This was the game that we wanted as kids. We wanted an open world game where you could go to class, learn spells, explore the castle, explore the outside world. God forbid Hogsmeade. Every time you went over there, you were reminded that all roads lead to Hogsmeade. But yeah, I would say overall, I feel like if you are a Harry Potter fan, or even if you were one back then and your fandom has kind of waned since then because you're just not into the series as much anymore, I think this is a game you can get. It's really good in the world building. Hogwarts Castle feels like Hogwarts Castle. It's probably the most intricate castle they've ever made in a video game for Harry Potter. So that was great. I do have problems with some of the outside locations, and we'll get into those. But again, the major places, you know, Hogwarts, Hogsmeade, and I'm sure there's like one or two other ones that they did pretty well. The train
I
station.
really like your voice impression, by the way. I gotta say that.
Hogsmeade. Hogsmeade. I think what makes me like get annoyed by how they say certain things is because did you change the pitch of your voice at all for your on the pitch slider when you created your character?
I embarrassingly went.
Oh, you just went through.
After I designed my character, I had a moment and I just said, "Screw! I don't care.
I don't care what my hair looks like. I'm gonna be casting Avada Kedavra." Oh my god!
But I liked my voice, so it was fun. But yeah,
I only ask because like it has this very weird like pitch slider tone. So like if you make your voice higher or lower, you can hear it, like, you know, that awkwardness if you hear like a pitch modifier for your voice, like you can hear it. I think I lowered my pitch like 1 octave and I heard it the rest of the game. And I'm like, oh god, I hate my character's voice. I can hear his pitch tone. It's just it was bad. It was bad. But no, either way, like the world they made was great. It was fantastic. Gameplay, most importantly, was pretty good. You know, and yeah, all the spells. You learn like all like 20, 18 spells, something like that. You learn a lot. You learn a lot of magic in this one. Grandmaster, what about you overall? Is this a game you can recommend to Harry Potter stans?
Yeah, I think this game is definitely a game for the fans first and foremost. I think the game captures a lot of the kind of quintessential feels of the Harry Potter films or books. There are some room for improvement, but overall, I think any fan who picks up this game would be satisfied. But even non-fans, I think there can be an enjoyment from a critical lens for non-fans. I think this game does work as a game. I think there are some things to enjoy, and you don't have to be a Harry Potter stan. You could just be, you know, the type of person who just likes to, you know, be encaptured by a new world with fantastic beasts and magical spells and a mythos and a lore. You know, it's all here. Whether or not it's fleshed out fully for non-fans to understand completely, probably not. But I think there's enjoyment all around for fans and non-fans. So, and I'll tell you what, if anybody, if there were like non-fans who needed kind of like a hook to get them into this game, TikTok was so funny with all these like, they take a clip from the movie and be like, "Hi, I'm Colin Creevy," and then it's their character like, "Avada Kedavra."
Only doable on PC though.
Oh, is that the truth? Oh,
yeah, you can't attack students.
That's I mean, not that I'm trying to mod school attacks or anything like that, but like just it looked like, oh, the freedom's really cool. You can be out here committing
acts of terror.
Yes, these unforgivable curses, however much you want. So the freedom looked fun. My name is Poppy
Sweeting. Nice to meet you. Avada Kedavra.
Literally halts the game in its tracks.
Oh man, no, for sure. That's definitely TikTok has been pretty good with you know, doing like either memeing the teachers or memeing the students with like just different things that you could do in the school. So that's they've done a pretty good job. I think to a certain extent, yeah, maybe some non-fans can appreciate the game without being like Harry Potter aficionados beforehand. So with the game, right, you have a story. What did you guys think about the story overall? Like the main story, were you like invested? Like I was interested to a degree. It went to like a generic type of path, because Harry Potter's basically like black and white, good versus evil. I feel like this story kind of went into that. I wish it went a little further with what it presented. The whole thing about removing someone's pain and all sense of feeling. I thought they would go a little deeper with something like that, but they just kind of go with, Isadora, you can't be doing that. We don't know the mysteries of that magic. And I'm like, okay, tell me why. Like, what? Go further, go further. It never goes further. It never goes further. It's just dangerous.
I think it's a so I've noticed that we've had completely different experiences with the story. Like my story had to have been 100% different than both of y'all's story, because I so in the story.
What was your house, by the way? Your
Ravenclaw.
Ravenclaw. Okay, I was Slytherin and
Hufflepuff.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure to see like if that in any way affects like the story. So go ahead.
Yeah, so as a Ravenclaw, you kind of have you can choose between being like a pretty much an asshole, or you can be as nice as a Gryffindor.
Okay,
but it's almost as clear as day that they give you the two ways. Like you can either be just smart, but I'm going to use curses because it's for my own good. And it's for the betterment of everybody, or you can use curses for like bad stuff. But it's the story. I mean, I wish there was a lot of things I wish they would have like honed in on. So like the relationship between the students was probably my favorite part of the story. So like the side missions and stuff like that. The main story with like I guess just pretty much like Ranrock. Like that whole thing, I really, I don't know. I don't know if I cared for it or not. I don't know. It didn't give no nostalgic feeling unless I missed something. I feel like there's a lot of stuff that I missed.
The Goblin Rebellion.
No, you know what it is? I know what you're talking about. I know this is what it is so you get this game, and what you want from this game is to be a student at Hogwarts, right? You want to do the Hogwarts experience. You want to go to class. You want to learn the spells, get in fights with other students. You want to do that.
Right.
But the story sets you up as, oh, you're not just a regular student. You're a fifth year. You're entering your fifth year. Unheard of.
How convenient.
With no background.
What? No,
where
it's
his
like,
parents?
With no background.
Where his parents?
Don't matter. Don't care. You are the chosen one. You can see ancient magic. And whatever the hell that means. There's a mystery.
Never mentioned again, but sure.
There's a mystery around this port key and your professor's wife, and then Ranrock, the goblin leader, who wants to see the downfall of wizardry kind. From right there, from those moments, you're like, well, damn, I'm not really a Hogwarts student, A good half of the game does not take place at Hogwarts.
Oh yeah, literally.
Right.
One thing too, I don't know if y'all been seeing this everywhere, but people are like, "Oh, the game's pretty much about how humans have taken goblins, like goblins' territory, or like we're like trying to like enslave these people or whatnot." I kept that thought like from day one playing the game. It never gave that. Like,
you're not trying to enslave them.
Like, I don't know what happened, like what people were turning the game into, but it never gave that. It just gave it gave black and white. But I feel like when it comes to Harry Potter, there's ever since Fantastic Beasts, there's always been like this nuance of like gray area of like, oh, what's really bad and what's really good, and it didn't delve into that. Like it was just straight up like trolls, goblins, like poachers, bad, kill them all, like destroy them all. Like doesn't matter how you get rid of them, get them over with. Like that's just what it gave. And it's kind of hard to say that the story had like a lot of I guess like nuances where you're like, oh well, maybe the bad isn't that bad. It was like it didn't matter what you chose. you know, I forgot what they were already called. During the trials, the ones before you.
Oh,
the keepers.
Yeah, the keepers. It's almost like it didn't matter how it was gonna go. The keepers were gonna be like, destroy them all.
Destroy them all. Get those
all.
goblins.
There was no profound impact of your decision making outside of the character interactions you have.
Right. It was flavor text. I've seen this comparison where it's like you start at point A and there's a point B, and you're always going to end up at point B no matter what decision you make. The journey from point A to point B is, oh, well, do I want to wear flip-flops on the way to point B, or do I want to wear sneakers?
Right.
That's where your choice
But
is.
we're still going to B.
We're still getting to B no matter what. You could say whatever you want from point A to point B, you're still going to end up at point B. And it's like there were some things where I felt like they could have explored a little more, because like the whole thing with goblins, right? Like they're supposed to be like prejudiced against the wizarding world, and it's like, you know, you're fighting them, and I'm like, man, should I really be fighting these guys? Like, they just want equality in the world. Like, this is messed up. I don't know. But then you see them going around like killing people, and you're like, okay, well, I gotta stop that. But
and then not to mention, there's like only like 2 or 3 goblins that are actually like not prejudiced against the wizarding kind. Meanwhile, you have killed countless 100 of goblins
easily,
and you're supposed to believe there's a good faction of goblins out there.
I mean, the way you kill some of the, I mean, it's the way you kill just enemies in general, but like the ragdoll spell. You don't need to do that.
That's so unnecessary.
Yeah, no, I don't know if I believe there's a faction of goblins who do not like, who like wizarding kind, because as the protagonist, you're just out there just wiping them all out.
You brought this on yourself, Ranrock.
Ranrock's blood is on your hands.
God, I feel like my character like personally hated goblins to a degree.
Yeah, it felt like that. This is what I wish would have happened playing the game. I wish, there was a kind of a Peter Parker syndrome. Kind of, if you make a decision to go fight Ranrock and the goblins, you miss class, and the professor's like, you misclassed again.
Oh,
you could choose to be a studious student to mind your business, or you could actually go and join the shenanigans.
Be the hero
that you don't have any business doing.
That's the Harry Potter syndrome.
Yeah,
that is the Harry Potter syndrome. Yes,
go save the world or go to class.
Well, he was able to do both with the help of his friends. But I wish there was kind of like that give and take where, if you go fight and do the main story, and Rockwood, you took on Rockwood or Ragnarok or whoever, that there were repercussions when maybe you didn't get to learn the spell today in today's class, and now it's harder for you to go learn that spell.
Maybe
you
it gets delayed, like your professor refuses to teach it to you.
Right.
Okay.
Or you
that
have to go
happen.
You have to go do more tasks or something.
That happened. Right. That happened in another way. I mean.
Oh
yes. We need people to confirm if you are the only one who's done this.
We'll get to that. Well, actually, okay, no. So we kind of like talked about the story a little bit. I guess we'll talk about the ending towards the end. But so going to class, learning spells. Do you feel like this was the game to like really cover almost every? I'm sure there's more spells outside of these, but do you feel like all the spells you wanted to learn in a game like this were covered? Because I went through the list and I'm like, there were some of them that I don't even remember being spells. I think Glacius, I was like, wow, there's an ice spell.
I don't think we've seen every spell in the movies. I'm sure a lot of these spells
maybe
are in
the books
or the expanded material somewhere.
But do you feel like everything was? Do you feel like, wow, this is all that I need? Like
there was one spell missing, if that is what you're asking.
What spell?
There was no Expecto Patronum.
But that isn't that so specific though? Like for
it is
need
specific.
You didn't need it though.
Did you want Dementors?
I
know what you're gonna do. I hate this.
As a Hufflepuff, we visited Azkaban.
Yes.
You don't. Yes, Hufflepuff.
You had Azkaban. I literally had no idea that existed in this entire game.
Yes.
So, do you remember what's that ghost name?
Jackdaw.
Jackdaw.
Richard Jackdaw.
So Richard Jackdaw, as part of the main story, you're trying to find something with Richard Jackdaw, and depending on what your house is, you end up going about a different way, progressing his quest. I don't even remember what mine was because it was just I went to like a cave and maybe a room somewhere. That's it.
I remember.
This bastard was telling me, "Did you go to Azkaban yet?" And I'm like, "No, is that a side quest? Where's Azkaban?" He's like, "Yeah, with Richard Jackdaw." I'm like, "I didn't go to Azkaban with Richard Jackdaw."
Going on Azkaban? How is that?
So
ridiculous.
This I think is good that your house. I like
this is a bad no. Hufflepuffs do not deserve Azkaban.
That's prejudice. You're being prejudiced against Hufflepuffs. I like the fact that depending on your house, the game does work a little differently. So yes, in a nutshell, you meet a Diggory because Diggories are Hufflepuffs,
right?
And then they point you to. You eventually just end up in Azkaban. It's basically a cutscene though.
Like, do you fly over there, or are you?
No, she apparates you. Your guide apparates you, and you walk with her for a little bit, so you kind of feel scared and whatnot. But
do you see Dementors?
You do see Dementors, but she uses Expecto Patronum.
Man,
you don't get to fight them. You don't get to do it. It's a short sequence. It's not the greatest thing in the world. It's really cool.
I wish
that they added this moment, but like, I wish in the game I could have done Expecto Patronum. There's just Dementors running around. They recruited Ranrock's recruited Dementors to his side.
Imagine.
I wish that would have been a thing. That's the only spell I think was missing. Expecto Patronum.
I'll have a thought on that when it comes to combat, because I have a lot to say about the combat. I'm gonna bring that up with the Dementors. But so outside of that, you were satisfied with the spell count, right?
Yeah, I don't think there's any spells. And again, I think they're all creative. There's I try to categorize them. I guess there's offensive spells, defensive spells, the Force. These are called Force spells.
The purple ones,
yeah. The ones that help you navigate the world. Lumos. Or Reparo.
That dance that he does.
Reparo.
You don't have to do all that.
That's what he does.
I know. I'm saying he doesn't have to do all that. He doesn't do it with anything else.
It works. He's in his fairy godmother's phase. And then the Unforgivables.
The Unforgivables.
You can use them for however you want.
The Unforgivables are one of the best mechanics in the game.
Oh, goodness. Yes, for combat, yes, they are.
For combat, yes. You get.
But for the moral high ground, they're not. That's why I try not to use them.
Listen. What? There's always been only 3 Unforgivables, right?
Only 3. Yes.
Only 3. You have Crucio, Imperio, and the granddaddy of them all, Avada Kedavra. Avada Kedavra. Those, I mean, literally, like, even when I was streaming them, people in the chat were saying, like, when are you gonna get Avada Kedavra? Can you hurry up and get it?
Wow, impatient. Goodness.
I am telling you, this was the spell. Even when the game was, like, not even released yet, that was the big question. Like, Portkey Games.
Avada Kedavra.
Yeah. Can you cast that spell in the game? That's all I need. That's all I need if you can cast it. Because I don't even think in the other Harry Potter games you could cast it. Because
no, of course not. No, you could not.
You could not. So that was the big question in this. Let me cast it. Let me cast it without any moral repercussions. Because there's no consequence for you casting any of those spells outside of
cool.
like if you do it like in front of students or other people, they'll be like afraid, like, oh my god.
Oh, they do?
Yes, they do. So like for example, even in combat, if you're fighting multiple enemies and you cast Avada Kedavra on someone, the rest of the enemies will start like shivering in fear.
You know, okay, that's dumb. They're already trying to kill you.
Yeah,
But they're
like,
not
what?
casting Avada Kedavra.
They're like, we're gonna kill you, but that's a step too far.
I mean,
Well,
I wouldn't know that they did that, but I'm glad you guys were able to
Speak your
experience
piece,
that.
Wow,
Kame Chris.
yeah.
What happened? What happened to your journey in learning Avada Kedavra?
I didn't have a journey learning it because it exists for me after level 28. I don't know what happened, but the quest went away. You have no idea how many times I went back to Google. Like I tried to like go circle back around. Like, what did I do? This is one spell that you clearly miss out on the game. Like,
I literally, when you told us that, I thought, wait, there's no way you can miss that spell. And I looked it up, and there are forums on Reddit saying, did I just miss Avada Kedavra? Where do I get Avada Kedavra? And I'm like, why would they do that? Why would they make the most busted spell in the game completely missable?
So it was it's definitely, you could definitely tell this is one of these moments where I'm like, why didn't you do it with a lot of other moments in the game where you choose and it's like either you're gonna tell Sebastian, hey, yeah, let's go and be, let's go be prejudiced even more and just destroy all the goblins for you, or you tell him, no, this is not a good idea. Like it's such a small moment, and something in that moment told me, because I'm like, I get an Avada Kedavra quest, right? Like after this, I'm supposed to. So I'm like, I can't wait to finish this. You literally do that, and then you say, oh, you should chill out. But then it's crazy because they give you another option to continue to say, like, okay, well, let's go do the mission anyway. You go do the mission anyway, and then you come back, Avada Kedavra is not there. And the mission that you had that said level 28, you can get it. It is now missing, and you will literally go in circles. But I don't know. It may be because I was a Ravenclaw, and I had the option to be good or bad.
There's no way available to everyone.
Yeah.
Oh goodness.
I don't know.
That's crazy. I know, like when you learn the Unforgivables, like you have those dialogue options with Sebastian where you get to tell him, I want to learn Crucio, or we should not learn Crucio. And sometimes I wondered, like, wait, if I say the second option, is he just, am I just not going to learn the spell? Am I going to skip it? I didn't want to test it because I did want my character to take the moral high ground in some instances, but I'm like, nope, don't risk it. Say, we got to learn it.
Get every spell. Yeah, that was the journey. I was like, I'm going to be nice in every place, but when it comes to, oh, do you want to do this quest? Yes, I want to do this quest to get the spell. Of course I do.
Exactly. It's oh man, I outside of those, I think they covered almost all the spells, at least the ones that mattered. You have Accio, Leviosa, Bombardo, Expelliarmus. For the longest time I had no idea what that spell even did.
Expelliarmus?
I just thought it was the red spell. I knew it was red.
The red is for effect.
I thought if you hit someone with it hurts them. Oh, Kame, you cut off.
Oh, I said it's a damage spell.
It's a damage spell. Exactly. I like that it disarms enemies still too. I think if you're fighting like a troll, if you disarm him, you can swing the club back at him.
It never worked. I disarmed them multiple times. It was a challenge, one of those like challenge things.
It's a
talent. Like, I'm doing this wrong. Yeah.
It's a talent? You can disarm a troll?
Well, okay, maybe I'm trying to think.
I've only ever made them.
Hit him with your club.
I use Flipendo to make the club flip and hit him in the face.
Oh,
I think that's what you have to do.
Yeah,
I know with like
the third time he swings down, you can Flipendo it back to hit him in the head.
Some of the
I had to look a lot of these up.
I did too, because like for example, when you fight the giant spiders, the big ones,
bury them in the
bury them, and I'm thinking, okay, so Descendo, just cast Descendo on them, but that wouldn't do anything, and I'm like, so what what do I have to do to bury
did
their
you figure
head?
it out?
I did figure it out through trial and error. It's when
I
they're
had to look it up.
it's when they're trying to attack you with the red icon.
When they're up, yeah.
When they're up, and then you cast Descendo, and it buries their head in the ground, and they're stuck. They're like, oh.
That's some crazy fucking reaction time. There's too much.
Oh
going
yeah,
on.
it's a tough one.
Yeah,
right.
It's too much going on.
Because they do like 3, they go.
Yeah,
right.
And you just get like attacked by like fucking 20 spiders at once. I don't know. Like even with the troll thing, I wasn't even trying. I was like, I'm gonna just do my bidding, troll.
Bury you.
Literally, and that's it. I'm not.
That's literally what most of us would do. I mean, hey, we're kind of already talking about it right now. The combat. How did you guys feel about the combat? This, I think, was probably, I always thought this was going to be the hardest element to nail in a Harry Potter game. Because if you guys see the movies, some of these fights are just whoever casts the spell first, they win. If you cast Expelliarmus on a person and it hits them, bam, fight's over. It's done. They're gone. What do you think about the combat?
I need you to say Expelliarmus before the comment section lights up.
I did say it.
You keep saying Expelliarmus. I'm sorry to call you out.
Wow.
They're gonna come for you. They're gonna be like, he's no Slytherin.
You want to test me? I'm on a Kadabra.
I thought the combat was good. I was very surprised at the combat and how enjoyable it was. Obviously, it's I don't know. The counter system is the new way to go in any kind of game.
It's that Arkham syndrome.
You know, Protego, stupefy. But no, I thought the combat was good. I liked you only could choose 4 spells at a time. So, depending on how you want to go about a battle, I was very much, I always have 1 red, have a combo of the forces, and then 1 yellow. That's usually what I went with. But there were times where I lost, especially if the enemy was higher level. And I was like, okay, cool. This is not a cakewalk. I like a challenge. There were times where I was like, damn, I haven't been using Protego. If I don't really use Protego, I'm screwed.
You need Protego.
Right. And then there were times where like, damn, I could be just locked on and I don't have to move the left analog stick once. I could just hit circle and do my little, did you get the white circle dodge roll?
Yeah.
That was cool. Then I'm like, oh, look, but if I touch the analog, it's going to switch targets. No, I'm not going to touch this. I'm going to go bam, 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 basic cast. Flipendo, Descendo, boom, done. I enjoyed the combat.
The combat was pretty solid. The combat was pretty solid. The whole thing with like the color coding for like shields and your spells. I felt like that was a good way to kind of like get people on their feet and just think in the middle of combat. Like you need to use your spells. You can't just rely on Bombarda or Leviosa and just focus on those. You need to divvy up your spells. So for crowds, I had a 1 tier list. So for crowds, it was like, okay, you never know which one's gonna have a shield up. So I just had I had 1 yellow, 1 purple, 1 red, and I think I had a green in there just in case one of them tried me to use Imperio or Avada Kedavra. And then for like bosses, I had a separate tier where it's like, okay, the boss is not going to have any shield. I want to do damage. And that was all just red spells. And I would just cast it repeatedly on them. Because I don't think the yellow spells even do damage. I think the
yellow spells did not do damage.
But
no.
Yellow spells were ultimate combos. You would do,
the barrel one.
Yeah, you would do so like mine, I did mine my like each of the like the skill sets that you get. I did combos for each one. So you get 4. So one was just like for like bullcrap. Like if I was like trying to capture a monster or something,
Right.
a beast or
Oh
whatever.
God, yeah, I had
Yeah,
one for that. Yeah,
yeah,
just for
I
like
had one for
world
all.
exploring
Yeah, World
spells.
Explorer. I need to change stuff all the time. But the other ones were all straight combos. So like I just remember I would use like the Glacius. I used the ice one, and then use Defendo right after that. That was just
Okay.
like just all I would do. Then if I use Leviosa, I use Descendo.
Yep.
And then I would use, if I use Asensio to bring them, I would use the Inferno, like the fire one, like
Yeah.
the one that has a fire around you. I'd just burn them like that, and then I like then just keep on like doing combos. So it was all like mine were like pretty, like, you know,
You
not
were
red.
juggling them.
Yeah, they were juggling. But you know, when you have the combos, all you do is just spam the combos. Eventually, you'll hit, if they have like a shield, you'll hit them eventually, and
Right. Yeah.
you'll probably end up doing damage around you, like around them anyway. So
Right.
I just did like a bunch of combos. I enjoyed it, but I will say it did, even if they're a higher level, as long as you executed the combos right and dodged all the hits, the game felt extremely easy. It felt
Yeah.
like a cakewalk at one point. I'm like, okay. At first, this was a challenge, but it's like once you get the hang of it, there was no like elevation to you getting the hang of something else. Like it's like once you got
Right.
the hang of it, you knew how to beat them all. You beat them, you know, you fight them so many times. You just like, okay, I know exactly what to do here, and like it just becomes like second nature. So it's not like any new challenges came about where you were like, oh, I got to do different spells this time. No, it's the same combination every other enemy.
And see, this is where I would say is one of the few cons of the game. Enemy variety. You only fight goblins, dark wizards, who are just, you know, just other versions of you, basically other wizards, spiders, and trolls, and I guess the knights and the trials, the suits of
Oh,
armor.
right.
But yeah, there's really, for me personally, there's a lack of enemy variety, and I feel like, for example, they could have put in Dementors in here to kind of like divvy it up where, and I don't care what the story explanation is. I don't care if maybe you cast an unforgivable and now they hear about it, so now they join the fight for whatever reason.
Oh, that could have been a cool element.
That
Yeah.
could have been something cool where now it's like you have to focus on the goblins doing this nonsense over here, the trolls doing that, and then you have Dementors on you as well. And that kind of makes you try to prioritize, okay, which spells am I going to focus on, which group of enemies? That was a great way to put in Expecto Patronus in there for the Azkaban fans. But yeah, I just feel like, kind of like what Comic Chris was saying, there's, once you get past a certain point, the game is not too hard to a degree. Like I think by the time I finished everything, I was like level 31 or level 30, and I was going up against enemies that were like level 35 or 34. Like their health bar was red as a warning
Right.
sign to be like, don't fight him, he's gonna kill you in like 2 hits. And it's like, okay, then I won't get hit. And I would do relatively good damage on him. And if I had Avada Kedavra, bam, he's gone. He's gone instantly.
I mean, you can upgrade your gear so freaking insane if you
Yes.
really think about it. Like you get like 36 offensive on things with defensive, and you know, like put the
Exactly.
different traits on. And at that time, you could defendo the whole entire thing, and then your defendo one shots everything. So I mean, they didn't give you much options. I wish. What I noticed in a lot of other games, like if you're gonna have goblins and all the same types of like things that we fight, then why not like make different types of goblins that, like, I know that you had like the bow gun
Oh,
one, and then you had like the one that had the axe, but
yeah.
like that was it. Like
Yeah, it was just your long range and your melee,
right.
and that's it.
Yeah. They should, and then they should have had like ones that were just only like I guess like the red spells, like, you know, they only the goblins that only use red spells, so they're gonna do high damage on you. I don't know. They could have gone so many different ways about it, and I feel like they just opted out just to do more what they thought was fan service and just give you a bunch of spells to fly around and just just go ham in the game. I think it was less about we're gonna make this like a Dark Souls game, and more so
Oh
like
God.
this is just for fun. This is
It was fun. It was fun.
have fun. This
I
is
like
for fun. Hee ha ha. Like now go play the other, go choose a Hufflepuff or something now. That's kind of what they were doing.
Go to class.
Yeah, go to class.
Well, I mean, speaking of classes, like I feel like you can't have a Harry Potter centered school game or movie or book without the classmates. The classmates make the journey worth it. How did you guys feel about the classmates? I guess all encompassing, including the ones that are just random side characters where it's like, oh, my pages are what was it? My diary pages are flying around in the school library. Please get my pages back. I forget which. It was that Gryffindor with the glasses. That was her thing.
The fact that you don't remember her name.
I don't remember her. I remember the three main ones. Sebastian Solo, Poppy Seeding, and Nati. Those are the three main ones.
That's what I'm saying, is that the student life. So this is another thing I wish they did better in the game. So yes, those three, you're gonna remember them because those are your three best.
They actually get like the side quests.
Zenobia and the Gobblestones?
Oh God.
Oh my God.
No.
Okay, no, I remember that because that was like one of the first side quests you do.
Yeah.
The Gobstones. Oh my God.
Well, see, okay, so I mean, I wish there, and I think this is something they could do better in the sequel. If they make a sequel, is that I wish there was this element to the game where it was like, hey, there's a common room party going on. If you miss it, you're gonna miss out on opportunities to build relationships with your classmates. But if you go, you can build relationships with your classmates, because outside of those main three, Poppy, Sebastian, and Nati, I don't know any of these people. But
they know me apparently.
They do know you. You're that fifth year. You're that new student. There was no incentive to kind of learn about your classmates. There was no motive to you hanging out in the common room. I barely ever went to the Hufflepuff.
There's no reason for you. The only time I was in there was when you wake up, like randomly.
Right.
I'm like, oh, I have another room. I forgot about my real room.
Who are my roommates?
I got the room of requirements. Why can I not put my bed in here?
Ever sleeping here? Like,
okay. One thing that was cool, and I will give them props for this. Depending on your house, your common room will appear before you, through that door. Have you ever seen that door? So like if you're exiting your common room, so I was a Slytherin. When I exit my common room and I turn around and look at my common room, it's a door that's a snake, and the door will disappear as the snake like slithers away.
Oh no, we don't get that luxury.
No, you do. Yours, but because you're a Hufflepuff, yours will be different. It won't be a snake that reveals the door. Same with the Ravenclaw. It'll be something different. Did you never notice that?
I never loved.
Ours is simply it's like a giant keg, because we're below the kitchens. The Hufflepuff.
Oh, there are some areas in the school that I still have not seen. I know they're in the kitchens is where the house elves cook.
That's
right?
where they cook.
I haven't seen that one. I haven't.
I mean, I haven't seen the
footage
kitchen.
of it, but I haven't been there yet.
I hope I went somewhere where y'all didn't see, because I feel like you guys saw a lot of things and I didn't.
Did Ravenclaws not get enough?
I think I've only been by the Slytherin common room one time. I've seen the fat lady for the Gryffindor common room one time. I don't even know where the Ravenclaw common room is.
It's like it's by the secret rooms. Actually, it's really close.
Okay.
Yeah.
No. But yeah, I just I wish there was more incentive to learn about your classmates. Like there's a black Hufflepuff student. I was like, oh cool, I'm black and Hufflepuff. You're black and Hufflepuff. But then he's like, you're the new fifth year, huh?
Who are you?
Who's this guy? Why is he?
What are you doing?
I was like, I don't want to be friends with him. But your three best friends are cool. They're diverse enough and
I like them
in their stories, and
Sebastian's the whole like my sister, we must save my sister.
well,
The
Sebastian
only
was a
good goblin is a dead goblin.
well, yeah, I was gonna say
Sebastian's got a problem.
he was a cool kid. He's that cool popular kid. And
Is
then
he
you
popular?
yeah, I think he was popular. And then
Okay.
I think it's revealed he's got this deep dark secret, and you're like, what did I get myself into?
Yo, no, literally.
Like
Yeah,
you thought Ominous was the weirdo. It's like, no, Ominous
Yeah,
was
I
on.
thought Ominous was gonna be like the that awkward kid that's like, oh man, like I feel like he's kind of low key psycho a little bit. But
Yeah, I
no,
thought
it's not
he was
him.
Draco vibes, but he was actually sensible.
He was
Yes.
the normal one. He was the normal one.
Sebastian
We should
doesn't
not
know what he's
learn
talking
these
about.
spells.
Sebastian's gone too far.
Oh, and I would definitely play both sides with them. Sebastian would be like, Ominous doesn't know what he's talking about. And I'd be like, you're right. You were in the
You're
right
right.
direction. And then I'd run around and talk to Ominous, and he'd be like, what do you think we should do?
Take him down.
We gotta turn him in.
We gotta turn him. Oh wait, you turned him in?
At the end of the game, Sebastian?
Yes.
Yes, I turned him in.
Wow, you're
Wow.
leaving Anne
I
to
turned
herself.
him in. Sebastian
Wow.
killed his uncle.
You know
I did
what?
not.
Okay,
I did not turn him in. I said what I was not gonna do during the game is be a snitch. I ain't no snitch.
I ain't no snitch.
I ain't no snitch. What I will do is apprehend this little boy, but what I won't do is snitch on this little boy.
You apprehend him? What do you fight him?
No, I tell him to no, you shouldn't do that. But then when I go to Ominous, I'm like, well, no, we need to work with him.
We need to help him. We know he killed his uncle.
It's okay, but we have to work with him because we don't snitch over here.
We don't
Oh.
snitch.
You
Where's Anne gonna? What is Anne gonna do if you send your brother to Azkaban?
I
Exactly.
wasn't worried about Anne. I was like,
Oh,
Sebastian
wow.
needs help.
Right, just screw Anne. She can fend for herself.
Anne's got
in pain.
Ominous, and Anne's got me. Now I'm
Wow.
in there.
I'll
Now I'm
take
in
care of
there.
Anne. I'm there.
I'll take care of her, Sebastian, while you go get some help.
In
all right.
Azkaban.
He needs some milk.
Help in Azkaban.
They took him to
Jesus.
St. Mungo's. Okay, he'll be all right.
Oh, Saint Mungo's is the asylum, right? The
The hospital.
hospital?
Yes.
Huh.
I feel like that quest could have gone so many different ways with Sebastian. It should have. I feel like I could have avoided all of it if they gave me the choice. But no, he's like, Uncle, stop it! You're gonna make me Avada Kedavra.
I was like, oh my god!
Why did we go there? Why?
I was like, he really killed him. Oh, I was actually in shock.
I was shocked. I
There-
did not expect it to go that far.
Actually, no, there were actually a few places in the story where I will say, not thinking about it, that I had like a real reaction, like a real like, oh my god, like they really killing each other in this thing,
Right.
Or I think it was at the end when you I don't know if this happened to y'all. Actually, this is good to ask. At the end with the ancient magic, so
Okay.
you know you had the little bit like he's like controlling it or whatever at the like your character at the very end.
Mm.
Did yours have a moment of like what the fuck was that when he sniffed it? Like did yours like character inhale it like the pain like the actual?
Oh,
ancient-
if he inhaled it.
Oh,
yeah, like so okay. I have an actual wand. So like
Ugh.
he literally does this with the wand. So he goes like this, like the pain, like the little pains right here.
Yeah.
He goes, and then throw it. And I remember I was like watching it, and I'm like, this scene was this. I don't know if this is going to be the same for everybody, but why the fuck did I just sniff that?
I
I don't
recall
remember
him
my character
sniffing.
sniffing.
Yes, I streamed it. I will clip it.
He got a
y'all.
bump. He got a
He
bump.
got
right
he got a
before.
quick bump before.
Yeah, he got a bump from
He's
the
like,
damn
this
ancient magic.
Isadora
I
was
like,
onto something.
but it was one of the decisions you make. So I'm pretty sure I had made this like it was like if I
Oh,
wanted to
you
against
made
the
the
dark
choice
like,
to like
use it or
use
whatever.
it, right?
Yeah, so I was like,
Okay.
oh, you know, I did the in between thing. I was like, oh, you know, this could be used for good. We should use it. I was like, yeah. Like, this is fucking crazy magic. I want to use this crazy magic. Who knows what it'll let me do in game?
Right.
But when I chose that, it was like after that scene, he like sniffed it, and I'm like, Fuck was
he
that?
got- he got fucked.
Like, am I supposed to not pay attention to that? Or what?
I maybe that's what it was. I think because you were kind of 50-50 and like you were leaning more towards using it. Maybe that's why your cutscene was he took a whiff.
Like,
And
he
then-
had like it was weird. It was weird.
I did not have that.
Look at that.
At least I don't recall.
You were goody two shoes. This magic is bad. It's
I
bad.
played it
You
very
don't
goody two
understand it. It's
shoes. Because
bad.
if I play it again, I'm gonna do everything bad. Where it's like, yeah, I found your gobstones for a price.
Oh, I did that
Oh.
already. I did it with everyone.
I've been getting my money. I've been getting my
If
money
they-
every other time.
If they told me, oh, I lost my I lost my port key in the caves down in the spider region. Can you go get it? I promise you the cave is empty. And I go to that damn cave, and there's a giant ass spider with a troll that I
need
have
a price.
to fight.
I need a price.
You're giving me money. You're giving me money. Like,
And see,
screw-
I wish in this game there were repercussions for if you were all
But-
out here collecting fees from your
I think-
classmates.
but
Yes.
you know what's great with most of the students, whenever I ask for money, most of the time they would be okay with it. They would be like, oh yes, of course, I would pay anything to get this item back. Thank you so much. And it's like you can't tell. Sometimes they'll be happy, but like people outside of the school, they'll be like, "You're just like the goblins."
Yeah, no,
They'll still pay you, but they'll
they-
hate you.
I think you do get I think it's an actual very subtle difference when you do choose those things. Like
Right.
like my ending, like I feel like there was just such small things that you were able to choose that they like gave a whole moment for. Like I remember one time I was walking around, one guy was like, "Oh, you're the guy that took out the goblins in Hogsmeade."
Oh, right.
Like
right.
the way they like go about it, I'm not a hero. At one instance I was a hero, but another instance they were like, "Oh my god, where did you come from? You very much give Slytherin vibes." And I'm
wow.
like,
Ooh.
someone said I
Jesus.
should have been a Slytherin. I was like, "Oh,
Wow.
God damn. Just call him
Yeah.
a mudblood at
The
that point.
profiling going on here.
Oh, actually, and I saw that too. Someone did say, they were like, "Oh, he's a Muggle-born." I was like,
Oh, wow.
I was like, dang, because
Say
he
it
did
to my
something bad.
face.
Yeah.
What'd you call me? What'd you call me?
Don't you wish there were more like student interactions? Like if someone looked at you the wrong way, you could be like, okay, let's duel.
GTA.
Let me
I
shut
wish
your
there
mouth."
was like a meter that ran where it's like you're a well-liked student or an infamous student.
Oh,
how they
Infamous.
react to you, like if you're walking in the hallway.
Yes, and like
Like
the
it-
more
It's
the
an
more
Infamous.
yeah. Is that infamous? Right.
Yeah,
that's infamous.
Infamous,
I wish
Infamous.
There's
does
kind
that.
of an infamous element to that. I just think
Right.
that would have been cool and would have made your experience
Yeah.
somewhat different. Let me ask y'all this. With Nati, did you hold hands with her in the hospital? Like, did you grab her hand?
I mean, I didn't choose my character to do it, but my character did do it when she was in the wheelchair.
All right. So look at comment.
You're so wait. You finished Nati's quest, right? Your character did not. I noticed it because I'm like, wait, why is my character holding her hand? But I guess like as a friend, like for comfort or whatever.
That was not the vibe. That
So
was
you
not the
wait.
vibe.
Yours did not hold her hand.
Hell no, he did not hold her hand.
Interesting. We
not hold
held
her hand.
hands. We held hands.
Yeah, we
Wow.
did not hold hands. Now, there was a lot of like options to be comforting, but I was not comforting because I felt like she was being
Oh.
stupid.
Maybe
So-
that's what it was.
I felt like she should not have been out there. Like
Right. Listen to
Yeah,
your
'cause-
mother.
because a lot of the time I know for the side quest they'll say like, oh, they'll come with you, and I'm like, if they give me the option for them to come, I'm like, don't, because y'all get in the way all the time. Don't come with me.
They help a little bit.
No, I don't want them to come.
Actually-
It's because it was easy. The game was already easy.
Oh,
to
right.
support. So I'm like, nah, I wanna go all full throttle by myself. And yeah, when they would come, be like, why are you here? Like, this is so dangerous.
But see, that's an element. I think I wish. See, the more we keep talking about, I wish there was an element. They held their own in those fights. And I was like, there's no way I'm out here busting my ass, learning these spells,
20 different
leveling up.
spells.
and trying to take out these dark wizards and goblins, and you out here easy picking them off too. Like, I'm doing all the work.
You're carrying
Yeah.
them.
I wish there was like a health bar they had, and it's like, damn, I gotta go protect Nati. She's over here getting Levioso'd and Descendo'd by these people.
Oh my
And then-
god.
But that's all she's doing. But that's all they actually do is just Levioso people all the time and like just do like a lot of status stuff. They don't actually like eliminate anyone from what I saw. Like
Right. Sometimes
I was doing
they'll-
all the heavy work, so I'm like, I don't need y'all anymore. Shit.
That's what I'm saying. I wish there was that element to protect them, since they weren't doing anything. That could have made the game.
But if there's
a
an
little
element to
bit-
protect them, I hope that makes them competent then. Because I don't want to have to protect someone that's still not doing anything in these fights.
Well, I like how that your one friend, the guy who showed you the astronomy tables.
Oh, it starts with an A. I don't
Yeah,
remember his name.
I don't remember his name, but
Anat, I think.
Amit.
Amit.
When you brought Amit to the goblin thing, he was like, "Whoa, this was a lot. I cannot do this again."
Right.
Like that very put it in perspective. Like there are some students like Nati who are like, let's go and get Rockwood, and then there's a meat and he's like, nope, I'm out.
There are
no.
goblins here. I will never, ever. Those are funny.
I thought those were funny. I did. I like those. I think it's funny that Chris didn't hold hands with Nati.
Quick question. How many years are at Hogwarts? I know you're fifth year. Is that the last year?
Seven.
Seven?
Years.
Okay.
Two
So
more
if-
games then.
Oh God, please no.
Oh Jesus. And so you got to level 34, right?
I did not get to the level where you do the house cup.
I finished the game at 34, yeah.
Did you do the house cup? Like did the owl exam or whatever?
Yeah, I did. I didn't even mean to, because that was the last thing I was gonna do, and then I accidentally walked into it
Oh.
because it was in the Great Hall, and I accidentally started it, and I was like, oh damn. So yes, I did the house cup. Hufflepuff won the house cup because Professor Weasley's like, you're a hero, 100 points to Hufflepuff. And I wasn't even wearing my school uniform, so I felt so out of place because I was not there for
Here
class.
he goes.
What
Here he
did you
goes. The
do?
outfit
Go ahead,
changes.
explain to everyone
Please.
Explain,
the
look,
monotony
okay.
of what you would do.
Fine. I think for anyone who has not played the game, or anyone who has and has done this too, you're a real one. If I had class, I would make sure I had an elegant robe, a nice cardigan, decked out in Hufflepuff. I made sure I dressed for class because I didn't want to stand there in class wearing my hunter skin for being a great beast finder with my little beret and my cool sunglasses. No, I dressed the part as a student. I'm at Hogwarts. I'm going to wear my robe, and so every time I had class, I had to take off whatever better gear I had on.
God,
I
I
also
know.
didn't-
You're
I just never,
insane.
never,
I also
never,
didn't know you
ever.
could change.
Never.
I didn't know
Never.
you could change.
I had to.
No,
did
you have
fashion.
to.
Every second in that game had to be fashion. I said this is runway couture. Like I need my Versace scarf on for school. I need my Gucci hat. Like I know exactly my outfit. I had gave it every single item like a label. I'm like, my wand is definitely from Alexander Wang. Like, yeah. And I wasn't changing my outfit. Every time I got a new piece of gear, I put the same outfit on. I was like doing the cartoon thing where you never have you always have the same outfit, like Family Guy or whatnot.
Wow.
I just
Right.
kept it that way. I am a true
Ain't no one
character in
got
this
time
game.
for that.
No, I made time. I said I'm in class.
Unbelievable.
I need to look the part and show that I care. That I'm a
What
late
was-
fifth year. I need to show that I care.
What was the other thing that you would do that was monotonous whenever you would travel to places?
What? I made sure I had my gear on. I did
No,
not go.
No, like if you had to go on your broomstick.
Oh, okay. If I had to travel less than 1,000 paces, I guess, I don't know how that measurement works, I would fly there on a broom. Or if it the coastal area, I definitely walked that whole thing because I had never been. So
What?
I walked that whole
What?
thing
Why did you walk it?
because I was like, this is unexplored territory.
Why would you walk it?
Nothing there.
How do you think I got to level 34? This is how I do it. I walked.
I can't believe this.
So
Yeah, you had to.
There
you
is
had to
such
do a
thing as
lot
an
of-
incorrect way to play the game.
When you said you're
Listen.
level 34, I was like, he had to do like literally all the exploring. And
Yeah,
everything. I thought I did a lot.
I walked from Hogwarts to the coastal region. I walked that. I didn't even sprint. I
walked from when I got to the coastal region after that little tunnel. I walked the whole thing because I was like, oh, this is new. I gotta explore it. I was going to go do the broom trial with that one girl, Reyes. But
oh god,
if it was if the trip was over 1,000 paces, I'd take High Wing, the hippogriff.
High Wing's the
that's
slowest
insane.
option.
No, High Wing is great.
He's great, but why? If you have to travel far, why are you using High Wing?
That is a Harry Potter moment I really enjoyed. I was like, I have a hippogriff. We have a long trip. We're gonna fly. We're gonna fly high. High Wing, go!
God.
Bust the High Wing.
I mean, I use High Wing just for theatrics, like just to see the
that's what it
scenery,
is.
because it was like a good.
It was scenic. It was not. I knew it was slower, but I didn't care. I enjoyed it. It was breathtaking.
Quick question. How was that PS5 exclusive quest? Did y'all do it? Because
There was an exclusive quest. What was it?
yeah, I don't know. There's a PS5 exclusive quest that only PS5 was able to do. So
I didn't know that.
If it was there, I have no idea what it was.
Yeah, I didn't know it was a thing.
Hold on, I'll look it up. I'll look it up.
Enlighten us.
Yes, please. But yeah, you know, the world is ripe for exploration, whether you want to go on High Wing or a broomstick. It's your choice, I guess.
Thank you.
Whether it's wrong or not. But how did you feel that the way they recreated like the world, I guess? So like for example, Hogwarts, I feel like they nailed everything about Hogwarts, like the way the stairs like form around you as you're climbing them, the portraits that are moving, the hidden passageways where like the walls like crumble into each other, the random ghosts like interactions. You would see Peeves just harassing students randomly.
Oh, I hate Peeves.
I hate Peeves.
Like,
God, I hate Peeves. He's like the descendant of the rat guy.
Peter Pettigrew.
Yeah, like, oh god, the moment I freaking saw Peeves, I was like, oh, he's that rat guy.
Like, can you imagine if you're like, you have a project for class and he comes in and burns it before you get to the classroom? Peeves. And they're like, what do you tell the professor? Professor, it was Peeves. He burned my project. And
They don't give a damn.
You're like, a very likely reason
see, like those Peeves interactions are just he would make me so angry. A student was walking with his books, he scared him, made all his books fall.
Yes.
I was like, why would you do that, you asshole? And then like just kept being an asshole. I'm like, I hate this damn ghost. I hated him. I wish I should have got a mod to like use a curse
on P.
Yeah.
I don't know how they haven't gotten rid of that ghost. That ghost is a
because he's
menace.
a poltergeist. He's different from the ghost.
Make a spell.
What's
Make
the
a
difference?
Spell, take care of
That was a question, and I got it wrong. I think.
Aren't poltergeists like attached to like areas? Like
I honestly don't know. I just know they're different. Like Peeves is in color, and the ghosts are all black and white.
Oh, right, right. Yeah,
so
the ghosts kind of just like float, like they're standing up straight and they're just kind of floating.
Were there ghosts?
There were ghosts. Yeah,
there were ghosts. Yeah,
there were random ones.
Like
there's a class, history of
Professor Binns.
Professor Binns. It's a history of the wizarding world, and he's a ghost. He's a ghost professor, and he just kind of just floats, like his arms behind his back. He just floats.
I don't have
everywhere.
that professor, or I didn't run into him.
Oh, you didn't do that quest.
He's a side quest. He's a side
Oh,
quest.
okay.
Yeah.
I gotta really like just.
And I did that one recently. Like I'm level like 33 or something, and I did that one like at the end of the game. But like if you're going down the hallway, you'll see like, you know, sometimes random ghosts are just floating by. But Poltergeist, at least with Peeves just like, it's like he's like swimming in water, like he's, you know, doing flips and tumbles and everything.
I found it.
What?
Poltergeists were never human beings before. They were never a living human being. And they can also they are solid. I mean, I guess you can touch Peeves, but they can move objects as well. So they got like the attributes of a ghost, but they never were human, and they can still move some stuff. So here we are.
Okay.
Wait, now that we're on topic of no, you asked about Hogwarts. Hogwarts, I think they did a great job. Running around Hogwarts, I said, I can't believe they had to do these in the movies. This is tiring. This place is huge.
I don't know how they created this.
You know how many stairs there are? There was one point I was like, oh my gosh, this is a lot of stairs to go from one class to another.
3,000 towers. I know they did not get that 5-minute bill. There is no
absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
No.
I need an hour. First of all, I need to go back to my common room and chill out for a second after I had to just run to class. And then I need to go grab my things too, because we don't have lockers. And who knows what we need for our next class. Like, yeah, that Hogwarts, it's huge, but they did such a good job. I'm gonna say they did such a good job. It was extremely accurate. Like, it was I know I saw a few things on TikTok that like they tried to make it seem like it was like undiscoverable places, but then like it was because it was like early TikTok that it was just if you played the game you were going to get there eventually, like the headmaster's office. Like
it's like obvious places. Like I am gonna be there at some point.
Yeah, so I haven't run into anywhere where it's like I guess like Professor Ben and like a few other places, but nothing where I haven't discovered anything that's like, oh my gosh, like this is like never seen this in Hogwarts. Like everything's been pretty discussed before, like we've seen it in the movie.
Right. Like the Grand Hall with like the food.
See, I like though there are areas that were discussed in the movies or the books, but were not actually pertinent to this game. And if you found them, they were cool. Like I think you go to the prefect's bathroom. I think you do go there for a mission with the giant bathtub. It has the giant bathtub.
I haven't done that one yet.
I've been in that. I've been in there, but I didn't have a mission or anything.
Oh, well, see, that's a really cool place because that's where Harry put the egg to sing the mermaid song to him in the 4th book.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so and I saw someone do a deep dive of this on TikTok and how they got the details from the books and they were zooming in on the places in the bathroom.
That's crazy.
They did their homework. They did their homework.
Yeah, the castle is like the best. For me, it was the best part of the game. Just going.
The castle's good. Yeah.
Yeah, the castle probably had to be the best part.
I mean, you have other notable locales, like you have Hogsmeade.
Hogsmeade's cool, I guess.
Hogsmeade's cool. Maybe my interest just becomes diluted every time that your character fast travels over there and he says the same damn like 3 lines when he gets there. There's nothing quite as cozy as Hogsmeade.
Well, I hate that you can't fly in Hogsmeade and I have to run outside of Hogsmeade to get back on my broom. Or get back on the hippogriff. But I mean, Hogsmeade's whatever.
Cool. It's got the shops.
It could have some more interactivity. I think would be cool. Like I don't know. I never had a butterbeer. I don't think I sat down.
Yeah, no. There was like that cutscene with Sirona where she like, oh, here's some butterbeer, and then that's it. I don't even think you see your character drink butterbeer in the cutscene. She just offers it.
Oh, and Poppy invited me on a date. She said perhaps we can have some butterbeer sometime. I was like, oh, Poppy, okay.
Yeah, she said that to me too. I was like, girl, wrong tree.
This ain't it.
I'm not going. Oh, and by the way, I think Haunted Hogsmeade is the exclusive quest.
Oh,
So
Wait,
there's like a
wait, which one? Which one?
the
So it's-
one, the one that I was telling you, the where we get the shop.
yeah, there you go.
That's
the
PS5.
That's PS5.
Wow. Okay. Look, let me tell you, that was cool on paper. It's completely useless.
Oh fuck.
Yeah, because like basically, so you know what? This is funny. This is funny because I remember when I was playing the game, I told Grandmaster was telling me about, hey, did you do this random quest in Hogsmeade with the shop? And I'm like, what? What quest are you talking about? And so he was like, yeah, go ahead and do it. Just do it.
I was trying not to tell him anything about it because I did the whole thing, and I was like, "What the fuck is this?"
And it was like a random quest off in the corner of Hogsmeade, and I'm like, "Oh wow, how did I miss this?" So I went to the quest, and I thought it was a simple like buy the shop. It was a vacant shop that with a house elf, Peppy or Penny. She has this shop and she's like, hey, do you want to buy it for my old master? So you go and buy it, and the old master's like, oh yeah, can you get my husband's things from this chest in the shop? So I'm like, okay, yeah, once I get that stuff, quest is done, over and then we can move on. I went to get that chest in the shop, and that chest sucked me into a portal.
What the fuck?
And I was in this, all of a sudden the game turned into a horror game. Because now you're in like this haunted maze / mansion with like the lights go out and these mannequins like appear in front of you, but they don't move. And it's one of the scariest missions in the game. Like, what the hell is going on here? Who made this? And why is it so long? That mission was like an hour and a half.
It took me a while. Yeah.
It was crazy. You know what? Now that makes sense that was an exclusive. If there was one quest that stuck out where I was like, why was this quest so long? It was a side quest. Like, it wasn't tied to like a student or anyone. And it had cutscenes. It had cutscenes in it.
Did you level or anything from it?
You don't, I mean, you fight stuff in it so that you do level up, but like you don't get anything unique.
You get a shop. You get a whole shop.
Let me tell you about the shop, because that was useless as well. You get a shop and your mind is thinking, oh my God, I'm gonna get my own shop. Can I like sell items or like put things on the market for like things I want to get rid of? Literally, it is an empty shop. No customers go in there, by the way. So that shop is going to go out of business. And you go to the house elf. One nice little detail with the house elf. After you beat the evil person tied to the quest, whatever, you get the choice to either set her free, the house elf that came with the shop, or you can keep her as the house elf for the shop. To free a house elf from the mythos of Harry Potter, you have to give them an article of clothing. So you have the choice. Do you want to keep her or do you want to set her free? I chose to set her free by giving her an article of clothing, which was a little hat that you found inside the chest. And so like we said earlier, point A, point B, you're always going to get to point B no matter what. Point B is always the same.
Kept her anyway.
You kept her. You give her the hat, and she's like, "Oh my God, Penny's a free elf. Thank you so much. But I will stay to tend the shop and make sure it's clean."
Okay.
Her dream is to run a shop.
Sure. I guess freeing her did nothing. Point B. We're still at point B. We just chose flip-flops over sneakers.
Instead of sneakers.
Exactly. But the cool thing is that because she's free, by you giving her the hat, she's now wearing a hat inside the shop. And she's like cleaning. I'm like, oh, that's nice. She's free. She's a free elf.
Okay, that's cute.
That's cute. It was nice. But it was useless because all it is just you go talk to Penny and you could sell her your items like any other shop for the same price. There's no point. There's no point. Useless.
I mean, at least you had an hour of content. You know,
it's an hour of content, right? It's an hour of content. You get I guess you got 2 house elves now. You got Penny and you got Deke.
They are both
Deacon?
free.
She's not in the secret room though. Like,
No,
no.
she stays in the
shop. She stays in
Okay.
the shop in Hogsmeade. Although that would have been cool because I just hated having to travel to these other places to sell my stuff.
bro.
I wish you could take her to the room of requirement, which we haven't even talked about that one yet. And just keep her there so that when you go to the room of requirement, you just sell your stuff if you don't want it to her.
Sounds like you want to take the choice from her.
But then
She's welcome.
you would
She
have
got
a
another
better
place.
quality of life because you'd be PS5, and that wouldn't be fair.
Right.
Yeah.
PS5s can't get too much exclusivity.
Yeah, that wouldn't be fair. I would. You would definitely have people complaining.
Oh my god. I will say, like, out of the things I didn't ask for in the game, but I'm glad it was in there, the whole animal breeding Pokemon mechanic and the room of requirement, that was so unnecessary, but I liked it. I really liked it.
Cool. There are things in the game that make you feel like you're part of the Harry Potter universe.
To me, that's above and beyond.
Right. This was the Fantastic Beast. And it didn't hit me until I don't know. There was a point where I was like, wait a minute. This knapsack thing, this is what he does.
That's literally, no, it was that whole room requirement, the rooms that for the beast and everything was just like, if there's anything that felt like nostalgia, like I was like, oh my gosh, like this is so, like I know exactly where this is from, and not just like part of Harry Potter lore anyway. It was that. I was like, okay, they actually implemented something from Fantastic Beasts because the hippogriffs are there. So you're like, oh shit, you could like take the hippogriffs and then there's
nifflers, the little platypus things. Fantastic Beasts.
Yeah, I have like what 2 of those, but yeah, it was just great. Like I thought it was the best part of the game.
Actually, it felt really rewarding.
I remember watching you stream too, AJ, and I mean Dr. Jace, and I was like, I remember watching you stream, and I was like, you have no idea what's coming. You have no idea what's coming.
That room, I mean, it was cool because the room would it would start small, and you got like a few tables here and there, and I'm like, oh, okay, you got cool little tables here and there. But as you progress, you start the room keeps expanding, and you get like 4 different locations to put the animals in.
Yes.
And I'm like, that is so cool. And then if you really want to, micromanage everything, you could have like all your tables be making something different for materials. So you got it making potions and the plants and the ingredients. And every time you visit, you select it.
I had my farm going. If I had 20 potions on when I figured I could do that.
Yeah,
man, I was doing 20 potions at a time. There's nothing.
Oh, that's smart. No, I just always made sure plants always took the longest. So anytime I left, I make sure. Because also one thing with the Merlin trials, I never had enough the leaves. Mallow, right? So I never had enough. So I always had those going before I left the room of requirements. Yeah, no, see, that was just an element that I thought, this is Harry Potter. I was like, this works. And there was other moments in the game too where I was like, oh, this feels like Harry Potter. Like the polyjuice potion bit when you're doing
that was funny. That was funny. The main quest.
See, I was thinking, even to Grandmaster's point, the characters being more involved, you having more relations. I wish that would have happened in class, where you had to go to class, level up potions skill to be able to use it in your room, and it would have just gave more lore to it.
Yeah.
And it would have been some how games, how they had how you were able to do the ball thing, how you have to pull the ball with Asensio. It would have been something off screen where you actually had to make something or raise do something a little extra that felt very it was a different game on its own. It had a whole different section. I was kind of nitpicky about that, and that's only because it was too easy to make potions. I mean, just
You just need the
like,
ingredients done.
yeah, you just like go around and like make like 20 potions at a time, and it's just insane. And you got the fertilizer to have like 6 mandrakes for one plant, and it's like you barely need one, like
Right.
but you
Right.
go ahead and you make 6 at a time. Things become overkill in the game, but yeah, it felt like Harry Potter. And then the room like to get like the making
bigger
stones and stuff
yeah, you could change like the ambience in
Yeah.
the air. Like I chose with what, moonlight. I went
Yeah.
with moonlight. That's the only right option, Grandmaster. There's no
Yeah.
other good one.
Yeah, that was the only good one that they had that I was like, ooh, like this is cute.
Yeah, it was nice. I liked it. And Deke was cool. The house elf.
They all got a tragic story.
Yes. Oh God.
Tobbs, did you meet his friend Tobbs?
Wasn't he dead in the cave?
Yes, he was dead.
Yeah.
Into a spider cave. Like, what do you expect?
With a note. My God.
With a note.
The spiders were too much. Like, gosh darn it. They still running around when Harry and crew come. Like, nobody said anything about these damn spiders.
Can't the elves teleport though? Can't they like?
Oh, they can like Deke does it a lot. Where he like, what's the word? Apparate. Where they like,
apparate, yeah.
Yeah, they turn into a little swirl thing, and
they apparate.
That was like their in Dragon Ball Z terms, like their instant transmission.
Their instant transmission.
They were the originals of it actually, but yeah. I'm like, right. Why didn't he just do that? Like, I don't know. I always find like little holes like that. Like, they could just teleport out of the situation.
Right.
None of that makes
sense. What are the restrictions to use?
They needed tragic. Tobbs had to die for the Phoenix to live, if that was even the same mission.
I don't think it was. I mean, the story.
I remember walking in that cave too and being like, this man's dead.
There's no way he's alive. I'm not gonna find him alive. If I had to fight all this stuff coming here, there's no way this house elf survived. But yeah, no, I mean, like you basically finish the story. Your Professor Fig dies. Didn't really feel anything about that.
Yeah.
I feel like I was supposed to. Like, my character was crying. He's like, no, Professor Fig. And I'm like, oh, at least someone here is crying.
I had to go back because I forgot he died. And I was like, wow. I was like, oh, there's a whole funeral thing going on here.
I mean, he didn't need to die. Goodness,
it was not necessary.
It was, yeah. It was.
I thought he was about to switch up and be the bad guy.
Yeah, I thought
he was
something
fishy.
with that too.
I thought he was fishy the whole time. I was like, he only cares about this map chamber. He's like, let's go down to the map chamber.
Do not go to class, young student. Go to the map chamber.
It's like, I'll deal with the headmaster. Like, I was like, something's up, but nope, he was good. But I don't know. Again, I feel that's an element they could have done a lot better. Just relationships in general. Like, he's your mentor. Like, did he teach you anything?
Maybe like in the very beginning.
He taught you Reparo.
Reparo.
Yeah, that's
there
it.
There we go.
I was gonna say they definitely could have gave the NPCs personalities, because they were very much NPCs in this game. Like,
yeah, I liked how almost, not all of them, but almost every student had like a name. Like, if you walked by a random Ravenclaw, it wasn't just like if you heard them talk, it didn't just say Ravenclaw student. They had a name that was there. And I'm like, oh, okay. I wish I could interact with them. But most of the time you couldn't, or if you could, it would just be like surface level stuff like I lost my necklace in a cave. Can you go get it? And then
I've been hearing you're the talk of town, and I think you can help me with this mission of mine, or this task of mine.
I mean, the one okay, so about those, the one thing that's cool is that sometimes, depending on what you did in the outside, they'll reference specific things. So like, if you beat Ranrock already, like the main story, some of them will say like, weren't you the one that defeated Ranrock? I mean, you're the talk of the town, and maybe you could help me with this. I'm like, okay, that's cool. I wish there was just more interactivity.
They missed out on that. And multiplayer.
Oh,
So right at that point, it's like they got a lot of things right, and it's like, but what things were they missing? I feel like they nailed single player, and maybe if they did multiplayer, it would have been too much for them, but a multiplayer mode would have been welcome. I think people would have really liked to battle each other with spells. Maybe in a squeakquel or an expansion that is not even being made at this
Quidditch,
time.
like
There's no
oh, Quidditch.
I
Oh,
like that they at
yeah.
least addressed Quidditch to a degree. Like what the headmaster said, there was due to the accident from
Right.
something
bull
something.
crap, you know?
We
Like,
canceled all of Quidditch, but like everyone's mad. They're like, "Why'd you cancel Quidditch? Why'd
yeah,
you
like
cancel it?"
sounds like developer laziness. I don't know. It's already a thing. Quidditch is
the-
already a thing.
I think it was intentional. I feel it's intentional to leave out Quidditch to make you want something in the next game. Which I was thinking about a lot, that a lot of it might have been intentional.
Because the thing with Quidditch is like that's a whole new mechanic that you have to implement. Because like you're on your broomstick and you go at like Mach speeds in the open world. But for Quidditch, you're gonna have to make adjustable speeds. You have to have keeper mechanics. You have to have seeker mechanics, and you have to have a bunch of people flying at the same time with an audience as well. And it's like, I think that has to be like its own game for what we got here. Like either an expansion or because it's just so complicated. There's so many rules with Quidditch and the mechanics they have to do.
But this game is so huge, and I feel like I said earlier, like I feel like they definitely needed more other things that felt like another game in this
variety.
One. Yeah, like I think this is the same problem I had with Kingdom Hearts as well. I felt like Kingdom Hearts like had the same syndrome of like being so strictly like narrow in the single player mode of what you're doing. Like you're only Sora. So here you're like just a student walking around whacking things. That's it. It's not like you do anything like that cuts to something else that you're like, oh, this is like a whole nother. I feel like I'm in a whole nother game. Like it feels like that when you're in your room or like when you played the little ball game. But other than that, I mean, like I feel like the ball game with Asensio was like the biggest tease. I expect it was one of the first things you do, and then I expected like to have like more little side games like that. Like, like we're going to be
Gobstones.
Like
no, he's right. I get that comment, Chris. It's like there's mini games.
Yeah, mini games. Right.
Like if you wanted to dedicate yourself to being a Quidditch player or the ball game expert,
Wizard Chess?
Where's Wizard's Chess?
Like,
right.
They had a chessboard at one point as a puzzle, I think. Right?
They did,
like,
yes. I think it was in that exclusive one. There was a chessboard. Like if you stepped in the wrong spot,
right,
you would fall through.
It wasn't even real Wizard Chess. It was just you had the chessboard. Don't fall on the cracked panels, and then you'll make it.
Right.
I would have liked that. Yeah, Wizard Chess, Gobstones.
I guess there's a lot of avenues you can take it. I don't know if you wanted to be a ministry stooge, if you want to be like Newt Scamander and just be all into Fantastic Beasts and collecting them. See, I think they did that part well. That was something like you could actually dedicate your time to.
Yeah.
Right. Or making your room like this immaculate, crazy thing. I've seen people stream and just do the time trials and just like, they're like, so there's a lot of mechanics to it that are actually true. So if you wear all black, or like, there's like a actual racer set that you can wear, to do the trials, like, on the broom way quicker. So, I mean, they have mechanics in to like do those type of things and make it feel that way, but I mean I feel like it wouldn't have been that a lot to ask for. And stuff like this I get a little worried. So like I know we got the Elden Ring DLC coming out, so I feel like we could get something potentially like this where it's like a DLC of multiplayer and other things. So they did say that they were going to release something multiplayer, like, or like they had something. They said something of some tease or some bull crap that they said they were that we should be looking forward to. So, I mean, I could if they have a DLC, I'll pay for it, whatever. But like, put some, mini games in this, because I mean, I feel like now it's just doing tedious stuff in the game and
so
over.
with in terms of additional content, which is like, well, then what the hell are you guys doing then? The game's director, I think about maybe 2 weeks or so after the game came out, so like people had already beat the game and they're like wondering, because the game sold well. The game really, really sold well. I think like 12 million is like their number, which is freaking crazy. Those are like lifetime numbers for a game, not your first month on the market.
Right.
The game's director, he came out and said, right as of now, there are no current plans for future expansions. And it's like, how?
What?
How is there? And I mean, I'm sure there's other factors that play into like maybe why they're not going into expansions, but it's like, okay, if you're saying no expansions, is that because you're kind of focusing on potential sequel territory, or
like what's the move here?
Yeah, what's the move? Because financially, the game made money. This game, like, it broke Twitch records, it broke Steam records. This game financially was a success, and it would be very strange if Warner Brothers did not pursue. I'm surprised they're not doing DLC, but at the very least a sequel. I would imagine if they do a sequel to this game, they have to have Quidditch. The things that are missing, you have to put it in now, because you got the base game there already. So it's like, what are you going to build off of to make the sequel better than the original? And it's like, how do you have to learn all the spells again? I better not have to learn all the spells again in a potential.
You might.
I better not. Oh God, I hope not.
And see, and another thing too, because if they do a sequel, games like these are a bit complex to even think about doing a sequel for, because it takes so long to develop things that you can play in 4K. So
yeah.
All the detail that they put in here, it's just when you set up games like this, either it's like you can't just throw it away because that's crazy. Sounds like what they're doing, like, we have no future for expansion, like that's crazy. Like, do you not know how big your game could, like, people could literally live on your game, like, for quite literally like years,
the next several years easily.
People will just stream and stream and stream, but like, give it like 7 months, no one's gonna be playing this anymore, and no one's gonna like really care, but people are going to be dedicated and want more for it. And you're gonna have that one community that's gonna be the new Hogwarts Legacy community that's always gonna be, on Reddit and everywhere else, like, oh, we need multiplayer, yada 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 yada. Great suggestions, but like that's what they set up. Like I think like that's
right.
That's literally what they're doing here. They know they're doing it. That's how they sold so much. And it's like you set this game up to be this way, but now we don't get any mini games, no nothing. Like, you just don't give a like, it just like dang, like the game was great, like from what I played, but there's just so many other games to play nowadays, and it's like they really could take the extra step. Now I don't know if it's because of X, Y, and Z's going on, but but if that's the case, then I maybe could understand.
It's probably a mix of everything. It's definitely a mix of everything.
But even then, though, it's like, come on.
They've set themselves up to where they did such a good job with what they gave us, but what's omitted is like, you better bring this next time. Like, it has to be there. More mini games in the school, more interactions with the students and the teachers. Quidditch. You better have Quidditch in there.
I mean, people got mods like for multiplayer.
Of course they do.
I've already seen a few multiplayer mods already and stuff. Like they're walking, flying around.
You gotta stop letting the mods take over.
That's crazy.
They're flying around together and stuff. So it's like, I mean, people figured out the mods in a day. So like,
if the mods can do it, clearly someone getting paid to make and develop these type of games, they can clearly do it. But and yeah, just have multiplayer as an option in there as well. People wanna cast Avada Kedavra and Insignio on each other. Let them do it. I want to cast Crucio on Grandmaster.
Oh God. They'd
What
have
are you
to make
gonna
the mechanics
do?
good.
What are you gonna do when I cast Crucio on you?
Protego.
Protego, stupefy.
I mean, you build up that Crucio so long, I should be able to react at a normal.
I don't know.
Protego, hold that shit. You know. So.
Oh man, they got ideas. They got plenty of room to grow in terms of like expansions. So we'll see what they do. But I think we like practically covered everything in terms of what the game had on offer. The only other question now is, you know, how do you think about the game now being at the end point? If you had to give it a score, what hill are you dying on? Like I know for me, it's an 8. It's an 8. I think it's a solid 8 out of 10. I think what makes it a 10 out of 10, if I was judging it on this, is the world that they built. That Hogwarts castle, damn, that's a good Hogwarts castle. Combat solid. The whole like interactivity with what they do give us, like the room of requirement, learning the spells, some of the student quests, specifically with like Poppy and Nati and Sebastian, those were really good. I feel like once you get out of Hogwarts into like the open world part, like the forests and the caves, that's where it kind of gets into like that samey open world feeling that you get in other games, whereas it feels like busy work. It feels like busy work. Oh, here's random cave number 39. Find the chest at the end. Okay, now leave. That's what it felt like. I want them to do better in a sequel for something like that. But I think this is still a great game. This is still a fantastic game. I feel like if you're a Harry Potter fan, you're gonna love this game. Combat was great. The castle exploration was great. And I think it's worth most people's time to give it a shot and see if it's up their alley. There's stuff that's missing, like Quidditch, but that's for sequel. If they don't bring it in the sequel, that's where it's like, okay, you're already losing like 3 points already off the 10-meter scale easily, 100%. What about you guys?
Yeah, I give it a 9. I'm sticking with that 9.
No.
Was it at a 10 before?
No, I didn't give it a 10.
It was a 9. Yeah, he always had it at a 9.
Yeah, it's a 9, and it's not a 10 for reasons that we've talked about. For example, you know, if they had something like Quidditch, that's great replay value. I would go have, we got a Quidditch match coming up. Come on. You know, that's fun. But like, yeah, there is some stuff that I think is missing. But it's a step in the right direction. Yeah, the character interactions are fun. The ones they lay out for you. The combat, great. And then you could just tell there's I feel this game was not only made by developers, but they brought the fans and the Harry Potter dramaturgs in, and they said, are we doing this right? Is this what Ollivanders would look like? Yeah, is this what the castle would look like? What about the surrounding region? Has she ever talked about that stuff in any of the expanded material? They sure did. Let's go to Feldcroft. Let's have a whole story around Feldcroft. And yeah, I just felt like they nailed a lot of the feels of the Harry Potter films. Like we didn't talk about this.
Oh, what are you gonna wait?
The Deathly Hallows sequence.
Oh yeah, okay. I wasn't gonna. It kind of relates to that. I wasn't gonna mention Deathly Hallows, but something else. But yes, yeah, I did like the Deathly Hallows sequence and reference.
Yes. I know what you're talking about.
Go ahead.
Yeah, there were moments where it's like, you know, it is set like a good 100 years before the main series, but there were subtle nods to things that you know as a fan. The sequence where you find what's his name? Salazar Slytherin's room, and he's like, I can't believe Godric of all people didn't agree with me. Oh well, I'll put the creature in this place and let someone who who understands me, come open it and release it upon the Muggleborns. That's what they deserve. And you're like, that's the Chamber of Secrets. Tell me it's the Chamber of Secrets.
It is
without
the
telling me
Chamber
it's
of
the Chamber of
Secrets.
Secrets.
That was cool. I mean, I wish you could see the room, but the fact that it's referenced in like this paper, I'm like, wow, that's something I just remember. Like, they don't say Chamber of Secrets, but if you know the source material, you're like, that's the Chamber of Secrets, right? It is.
Right. So it's moments like that where I was like, okay, this game is obviously made for the fans, and you can tell they put a lot of heart into it. The only replay value I have is if I pick a different house to go see how it's different and make different choices. So there's that. But that's why it's a 9 for me. I definitely think, there's a lot to enjoy, and there's a lot left to be wanted in a sequel or DLC. So it's a solid 9. And I'm not even a big fan of these open world games. I'm typically...
What you mean?
I typically lose interest real quick.
Arkham?
Really?
In big open world games, Arkham is not a big open world
It's
game,
open world.
but it's not a big one.
Assassin's Creed?
I have played Origins, and that's the last one I played. I haven't played any since, so...
I've seen that Valhalla copy on your coffee table for a while.
It's been collecting dust, right? So here we are. It's a 9.
It's a 9. That's all right. All right. What about you, Kame Chris?
I'll definitely give it an 8. I'll stick by 8. Now, there's a lot of I would say, when you're looking at ratings and it has like the 5 scales that make up the mean, that's pretty much what's going on with my 8. So as a fan, it's on a 10 scale. It's crazy, like just fan service all around. It felt like nostalgia the moment the game started. So it was just like, the best thing in the world when you just hear the music and everything. But as far as like gameplay, that's like a 7, 8, kind of mid, it's not, it's kind of whatever.
I think it's good for what they did at least. Like they did what they could with the two.
Yeah, I know you only do so much with like all the spells, but I guess
right.
I'll say like story. I thought the story was okay. It
was fine.
Overall. Story was like an 8, 9. Like story wasn't bad at all. Now when we're getting into like I guess like appearances, I thought 10. Like I really enjoyed all the outfits they gave it. It very much gave old school, like fancy Hogwarts type of clothes.
Oh, right.
Like it was just perfect.
I had the dragon hide cloak going everywhere.
I had the dragon hide cloak. I wore that.
I
wore that for a second. Yeah, that was sick. Now when we're getting into so just out of like repeatability, I am a person that likes to play one game for a long time. I don't like to change too many games. So
MMOs.
I'm very MMO all day, but it really felt like it was supposed to go that route and it didn't. So that's where I give it a solid 6, and that's only because just how the game was set up, like it just how you first started, just to be fair. But I think traveling was great, like just design and just how everything looked it was pretty good. But overall, solid 8. It was
fair. Yeah,
wasn't the best games I've ever played, but visually one of the best games I've ever seen. Like just out of nostalgia, best game that ever hit me like that. But references was cool. Like to see Professor Weasley. I remember I had to ask. I was like, "Is that her grandma? Is that Ron's grandma?
Probably like great aunt or great grandmother." Yeah.
And I'm like, do they? And how they like populating, because they all have red hair. Like, who are they meeting that has red hair? Like this sounds like
family stuff going on.
Yeah, it sounds like some weird shit's going on here.
They're definitely like, it's red or nothing.
I don't know. You have to be on the hunt for something specific to keep that bloodline pure.
I know. That's why I'm like, what is going on?
Pure-blooded redheads. That's it. That's all we
Pure-blooded
take.
redheads.
Like, geez. And then oh, I don't know if y'all the theme of the Weasleys like was still there. Like I like the whole time the one Weasley you met, I forget his name.
Yes, there was a boy.
There was a Griffin boy, yeah.
Yeah, his aunt was the Professor Weasley was his aunt, but
Right.
he was like doing like he was like creating like all types of crazy stuff. And I was like, oh, this is such a Weasley thing to do.
It's in their bloodline.
Like, yeah,
they
was like,
don't
oh,
know when to
cool.
stop. That was
I
cool.
thought that was pretty cool.
It was nice to see some of the students just be like the ancestors of like characters you know of.
Yeah.
I think Ominous too, isn't he?
Ominous
ancestor?
is a gaunt.
He's
Yes,
a gaunt.
He's a gaunt.
That's Voldemort's ancestor.
Oh, what?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I think it's Harry's too. I think Harry's part gaunt as well.
That's still cool.
Yeah,
That's
no.
cool.
And also,
yeah,
like, you know, Ominous is blind.
He spoke parcel.
He
so
spoke parcel.
He did speak parcel, yes.
Yeah, makes sense.
He spoke parcel, and I just like, it's just a little detail. I like that Ominous is blind, and he uses his wand as like
like a homing echolocation.
Right. It was cool, and you see him doing that, like just doing it by himself. If you meet him in the hallway randomly, he's going around with his wand trying to see.
I did not realize he was blind until maybe halfway through the game.
Did you look at his eyes? What?
I was always like, why isn't he looking at me?
Why he's not looking at me?
Look at his eyes.
I didn't realize until I was snitching. Well, I was like agreeing with him at one point. I was like, yeah. Sebastian shouldn't be doing that. It was like one of those moments, and I was like, I think this man is blind. Like I was like, I
can't believe this.
Anything. Yeah.
I cannot believe
he just kept looking at the ground like this. And I'm like, what are you looking at?
Yeah, I was like, what are you doing?
Look me in the eyes. But no, all these characters are cool. It's nice to interact with them. But yeah, I think overall we enjoyed the game to varying degrees. I do want them to make another one, right? I want them to make another game that addresses some of the problems that we have in this one. I don't see them not making one based on the success of this one. There's just no way. That thing's printing money like it's no one's business. But we'll see. But hey, if you're a Harry Potter fan, give it a shot. Even if you're not a Harry Potter fan, dip your toes in the water. See if this is an open world game that you're up for. But yeah, I would say that kind of wraps up our thoughts on Hogwarts Legacy. We'll see if Portkey Games continues the legacy of this series. If they make a squeakquel, if they change their mind later down the line and they want to do an expansion for like Quidditch, or hell, you know what? Make an Azkaban expansion. Do an Azkaban expansion, because I do not agree that Hufflepuffs of all people
go play the Hufflepuff story.
Oh God, no, never.
Random. Random Hufflepuff. Just to use Hufflepuff for the Azkaban.
Y'all just haters.
Random.
Unbelievable. But yeah, that wraps up our thoughts here at the Yongo table for Hogwarts Legacy. Let us know what you all think of the game. If you're still playing the main story, if you've encountered different plot threads that maybe we didn't cover, because it looks like none of us here chose basic Gryffindor. So that's good. But I don't know, maybe Gryffindor has its own exclusivity with certain quest lines. Maybe you get to go to a different school. Ooh, if they do a squeakquel, maybe you explore another school instead. Another American school, or I forget where the other schools are.
They brought it up.
Nati school in
Nati
Africa.
School. Right. That would be a cool one to do. Give me another world, because all the schools have like their own houses as well.
They do. Nice. Oh, a Tri-Wizard tournament. That brings other schools.
Tri-Wizard tournament. Look at that.
Ooh.
Did you throw your name on the comment?
Yeah, exactly.
Did you?
Protagonist, Did you get one of the other students to do it? JoJo? No, sir. I swear,
sir.
sir.
I swear, sir, there's nothing quite as cozy as Hogsmeade. Oh goodness. You know what? That is easy sequel material. Triwizard Tournament. There you
Easy.
go.
Oh, absolutely.
It writes itself.
Yeah.
You better have Quidditch for something like that. There's no way.
The game has so much room to grow. They can just release expansions and boom. Like,
Easily.
Don't even got to make another one.
Yeah, exactly. Just build off the base game, and there you go. People will buy it.
There you go. Yeah.
But yeah, let us know down in the comments below wherever you're listening to us on, whether it be Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, at the Yonko Table. Some of the VODs of our streams are on our, platforms. Kame Chris got his on Smokescreen King. I have mine on DrJaceAttorney. Go check it out. See what quest lines differed if one of us missed a Vada Kedavra at some point. Let us know, folks. But yeah, that's all we have to say for this one. I'm your Yonko host, DrJaceAttorney, fellow Yonko Grandmaster Hoop, and Supernova Kame Chris. Drop your favorite quote from the game. Y'all know mine already. It seems like all roads lead to Hogsmeade. Go on. Come on, don't.
On a new adventure there.
Oh, okay. Ooh. All right, I like that one. Come on, man. You should churn these out. You were spitting them like every damn day you played this game.
Oh God, I don't know.
Come on. Close us out.
Deke thinks you're getting really good at making potions.
We're done.